Today we're going to do a workshop on SEO and AI visibility in 2025 and using AI to optimize and automate as much of the work as possible. We're going to start by getting a game plan together for a new brand or company, do some foundational work, do some optimization work, find some opportunistic areas to double down in, and cover the recent algorithm changes to Google with the AI mode and how to think about AI visibility and position yourself to win in this new area. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with a case where I know not a lot about SEO and I need a game plan, right? So I'm going to say, give me a game plan to show up in Google with Sprites.ai. And you just hit send on Sprites. And we have a marketing team at your service. So we start with our CMO or chief marketing officer who's there to give you advice and route you to the right person. So we got managed to the SEO and AI visibility worker to get our task done. And then this agent is going to go ahead and kick off a workflow to achieve the task. So it's going to do a bunch of, as you can see, SEMrush domain analysis, backlinks, historical trends, URL analysis, looking at our website, so on, to be able to put together the data. It needs to give us a report. The AI agent will go ahead and create a workflow to achieve the task we want to achieve. So in this case, it is to start with the basic domain analysis. What do we rank for? What are our traffic numbers looking like? What are our metrics? Then it goes ahead and discovers our top competitors in this domain, figure out who we're fighting for traffic with. So this is purely on a keyword basis, but if I can seed my request saying hey, Sprites.ai competes with X, Y, and Z, pull their data, see how I can leverage their information. We're going to get into that in a second, how to analyze competitors in depth. And then from there, it's going to go and research our competitors using some agentic web search, analyze all that data using AI, and further research the keywords. It figured out, okay, we're AI Copilot. We offer business automations and workflow automations as Sprites.ai. And what's our domain authority? Some link building opportunities. I don't need to know any of this. Imagine if I'm the business owner and I'm engaging with a SEO marketing specialist to help me with a game plan. They're going to go and do all this stuff in the background, which is pull SEMrush data, research my competitors, come up with a keyword strategy. I don't really need to be involved in this except for just verifying that, okay, the report and the suggestions they're giving me is grounded and not conjecture or they're just going to ChatGPT and typing, hey, give me a game plan for SEO. And so you need to ground it on concrete data for this domain, for this business, and you need to already have a structure for best practices and making things actionable. So our game plan is suggesting, okay, own this keyword cluster in 90 days, migrate our blog to /blog. So Sprites gives me a good tip where our blog used to be served as a subdomain called pages.sprites. That hurts your domain authority, and it's better to make your marketing website and the blog content all be under one domain. GTM Copilot being this is something we haven't actually done any keyword clustering around this. Browser automations is really interesting. It seems to be some trends, and it's setting some targets for us for organic sessions per month, and we should rank top 3-5 for GTM Copilot, AI Copilot for sales, and push up our domain authority. It's going to take some investment, but this is how to get a SEO game plan with Sprites, right? So let's say now I want to go ahead and actually get some articles in the AI or GTM Copilot cluster that it recommended to me, right? So a few different ways you can approach getting content up for specific keywords is it's an intuitive process that you as a human would go and do, describing that to the AI and having it go through that and make it happen. It's hard to make things from like scratch. Let's say I want to get some pages that cover that GTM Copilot concept, for example. Me as a person, I would go and probably do like a Google search, find some key articles, see the people who are searching for this, like what are they looking for and what are the current results serving. And then maybe I would go and try and find some interesting like hidden sources of data to get some new content up and running like under that keyword cluster. Let's say I have decided I want to rank for this search. So if someone searches like NA10 UGC like automation, right? So it's a hot space right now, which is like user generated content campaigns for social media, how to build like UGC content at scale using AI or leveraging AI. This is a hot trend through going back and forth with the Sprites game plan and strategy Copilot. I've figured out I need to rank for this. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out a game plan to get some articles up. So I'm going to say find top videos on YouTube covering NA10 AI UGC tutorials, extract key concepts, let's say 3 to 5 points from each video, extract specific tools referenced, and for each video present the findings, keeping in mind I want to write articles from each, right? So I'm going to unleash this AI to go and watch YouTube for hours and hours on innate automation. I could have done like web search or like blog posts as well. Just find YouTube has a treasure trove of content to be repurposed. If you want to repurpose like existing blog posts or Reddit, it's going to be duplicate content, right? So a way to get unique content that, for example, probably isn't covered in the top ranking blog posts already is to go into data sources that doesn't already get ranked or exist for this. So I kick off this process. It's going to do a similar thing where it's going to go ahead and try and create a workflow to get my job done. So in this case, we can see it's going to start by searching the top videos on the specified topic, sort on view count, then fetch the details for each video like views, likes, verifying that these are legit videos, sorting on the view count. Then we're going to pull a transcript for these videos. So every word spoken in the video, we're going to get in text format. And then we can analyze those video transcripts and extract the key insights that we wanted to get and analyze them in depth. Then we're going to do this part is optional, which is I like to get things in like an executive summary. So when I use Sprites, when it's a kind of aggregate analysis job, instead of looking at like raw text data, I really much prefer it to be presented to me in a visual way. So I always ask for a kind of HTML report. This is a feature that might be built into the platform at some point, but for now, if you want some report like this, you do have to ask for it because, you know, it costs tokens to generate. I just asked for, hey, give me a beautiful summary for the report done. So we went and watched 10 videos covering like 75 different tutorials. As you can see, concrete videos are referenced and we are pulling the key insights and integrations mentioned. So this video mentions NA10, OpenAI, Google Sheets, Google Drive, Google Cloud Platform. Perfect. This is so keyword rich, so many platforms referenced. The insights, 3-agent structure, fully automated short POV video creation using these tools. This is amazing. I can have then Sprites analyze these insights pulled from the videos and the integrations mentioned and start spinning up clusters of blog posts, topics referenced. By the way, just for transparency, this is a pretty lengthy process, right? It takes like minutes to analyze these videos. It's a pretty long video. The reason we jump ahead is because to create the workflow to achieve the task and to work through it, to watch 10 YouTube videos that could be like potentially up to hours long, it takes quite a bit. So you have to leave the AI agent running in the background for a while before you can come and check your results. But you do get your results. And yeah, so from here, I can look at the data. It's pulled for me in a structured way. I can figure out, okay, maybe I can even reference the video site where I found the information. Faceless YouTube shorts, mentioning like people can get up to 16 million views with a faceless YouTube channel automation. I've heard about this concept where you come up with a content pipeline that doesn't even need a kind of human in front of a camera. They can just like generate usable clips to flood the YouTube shorts and reels algorithms, tools mentioned, etc. So what can I actually do with this, right? I need to write or create web pages, UGC automation. So when I search for anything UGC automation in Google, I'm getting the Google AI response, and then I'm getting the paid Google ads, of course, but then I'm getting the organic results, which is the pages that actually Google says, hey, these will be useful if you're looking for this intent. And as you can see, they're very structured. They mention a lot of different concepts. They're info dense. They have a particular guideline they have to adhere to. It's going to take a lot of time for you to manually create one of those pages based on the data here, but there's a lot of good data here to do generate one of those pages. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Sprites to use these concepts and write an article for us. I just don't want to rewrite this report, so I don't do it in this chat, but you could just do it in this chat just as well. So write a SEO article based on this info. And by the way, you can ask for things to go to Google Drive, sync to Google Drive, read from Google Drive, etc. So you don't have to do this sort of copy pasting. I'm just doing it in the interest of time. Oops. Sorry, I'm using Mac keyboard shortcuts, which don't translate well. All right. So I'm like, just here's some stuff I found in this other place. Just make me an article, right? To get a SEO optimized page, it's not as easy as just copywriting or like even finding the facts. The actual technical structure of the page matters quite a bit in terms of like how the search engines consider your page. So with Sprites, we have a really good SEO like article writer workflow. So whenever you need to translate arbitrary pieces of data or text, or maybe you have a knowledge base already on Notion or Google Docs, and you're like, hey, just write blog posts based on this data for me. Or as we did, like maybe you want to do content repurposing, research, find sources on the web, translate them into content. We have a really good SEO article writer, which will create web pages that are formatted in the way that Google finds appealing for its search algorithm or it wants to optimize for. And we'll cover at the end, as I said, informational overview of what sort of web pages and content end up getting ranked or seen by Google and AI engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. Here is the article. It's like produced for us. It's giving us like some overview stuff. Here's the actual article. In this case, I asked for an article to be written on a concept that I didn't have any data in. So I said, hey, just compare these two game engines for me. We're, let's say, using this product called coplay.dev, which is a Unity AI assistant tool, the pretty promising startup, one of our clients at Sprites. So we're getting a single blog post up for them. In this case, we didn't have starting data, but in the content repurposer case, like we do have the starting data. So we're going to get an article like this. So it's going to have the web page title, what URL we should publish this at. So whether I'm using Squarespace or Webflow or Framer or WordPress, I will ask the web page to be published at this URL, title the page like this, add this meta description, and then this is my article content. Like this, I can just copy paste into whatever publishing platform I'm using, and it has the formatting that SEO pages expect, which is these headings, specific word count, per heading, specific amount of reading time per heading, visually structured in a certain way, includes a FAQ section, and so on and so forth. As I mentioned, you can also get your articles, like if you don't want to work in that interface, you can ask Sprites to publish your articles to your Google Docs, which you get the exact same article as I have here in Google Docs. So if you want to actually do your own editing or further processing on an article before publishing it, you get it in a document format very cleanly, and you can do whatever you want with it, publish it or not, or edit it, use it as a seed for an article, etc. Sprites gives you polished, SEO ready articles, fully matching what Google wants to see from either nothing, which is in this case, I just said, give me a blog post. And in the previous case, we started with doing content research and content repurposing before doing the article writing. And yeah, now I have my blog post ready to go. And similarly, you can also optimize your existing articles and pages that are already running with Sprites. We have workflows that are optimized to deliver that for you as well. So we already have a blog on Sprites. Facebook Ad Spy tool. This is a workflow that we have in one of our other agents, the ads agent, which we'll be covering in a future webinar, how to do ads. But we have this article. It's pretty slapdash. Not a lot of thought went into it. We just have this integration. So we're like, okay, we should get the word out. So we just got a single blog post up to just have some coverage on it. But we haven't optimized it. I'm going to go ahead and just take this URL, and I'm going to go back to the Sprites homepage. And I'm going to say, I have a blog post here. It's pretty rough. Please update it to be SEO optimized for the target keyword that it has in the URL. So obviously we want to rank for Facebook Ad Spy and go from there. So I'm going to ask for an intent like this with Sprites. And again, it's going to route me to the SEO agent who will get to work trying to achieve what I want to do. It's starting with researching Facebook Ad Spy tool and related keywords, finding more keywords, and figuring out the competitive landscape, pulling some content from me to then suggest updates to my article. When you have an existing article, Sprites goes and does its work, whatever it needs to do, and suggests like key improvements. The meta title and description is very important. For example, it's already inserted like the year, improved heading sections, added a FAQ section, and strengthened keyword density and semantic variation. So when it goes and researches the web and competitive landscape, it pulls all that data and feeds it right into improving the article for me. In case you already have a bunch of SEO content up, but some of it might be outdated, or maybe you're losing traffic in certain keywords, whether it's in Google or ChatGPT, you can ask Sprites to focus on either a single URL at a time, or maybe run over your entire blog. Of course, if you run it over your entire blog, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take probably a few hours. It's riskier. So I would recommend doing this sort of a workflow, one article or a few articles at a time, because it is pricey to write this many high quality tokens. And I can get the updates Sprites is proposing to my article one change at a time. So change Facebook Ad Spy tool to Facebook Ad Spy tools to competitor ads. The meta description, instead of something generic called powerful AI tools for content marketing, to discover what Facebook ads or competitors are running. So very specific, clearly targeting a keyword cluster around Facebook Ad Spy tool, Facebook advertising spy, etc. It came up with a coherent keyword strategy where we didn't have one before for this article, and it has updated different aspects of the article to align with that keyword strategy. And it's added a few sections like the FAQ section for me. And again, I can get the same article update summary that matches this one-to-one. Instead of in the Sprites UI, maybe I don't copy pasting here. I can just get it in a Google Doc, updated and synced with my Google Docs, and look at all the changes proposed and decide if I want to take action on any of them or not. And yeah, this is intended for a human author in the loop. Currently, Sprites doesn't auto publish or auto update articles on your web publishing platform or CMS on your behalf, but that's something that we might consider in the future. Currently, it's intended for a human to be in the loop in terms of taking this content, taking it to WordPress or Squarespace, and copy pasting wherever you need to do and go from there. I will cover one more demo, which is a very high level like competitor analysis. So you can ask for something very broad. Find the top keywords that give make.com traffic. So if you want to just do a very high level analysis of like, how's make.com getting traffic? I don't even want to do keyword for keyword or even get my own data in there. And you can ask for certain things to be like cleared or clustered. So like brand keywords, you usually have a long tail of brand keywords, etc. So you can ask for something like that to be filtered. I'm really looking for like workflow intent keywords, so I can be as specific as that for make.com. So you can see like a lot of Google Sheets based automations give them a lot of traffic. So you get this executive summary. Again, if you want, you can ask for it to be put in this like pretty report thing with colors and annotations and etc. But I like the dry text. It's also cheaper, fewer tokens to produce. And yeah, I get a 10K foot view of how make.com getting its traffic with some surprising stuff like cloud convert, which is this other like file conversion, or something as broad as like today's date. Why are they getting significant organic traffic over these keywords? These would be things that aren't even on my radar, but this probably means people are looking to include it in some sort of a workflow or automation system. They're not literally looking for today's date. There you go. Finding a keyword cluster like today's date when it comes to its prevalence in like a automation space. And yeah, it's like finding its top performing pages for me, apps.google Sheets. So in a matter of seconds, I've like scoped out my competitor, their top keywords, their top performing pages. If you know what you're doing and you're way around Google Search Console and whatever, an analysis like this probably would take you a few hours to put together like such a structured report. We're optimizing, we're saving you a lot of time. And it's like an SEO analyst, so you can ask for, hey, filter out all the branding pages or only find their comparison pages with their other competitors and go from there. AI visibility and SEO in 2025. So boring content alert. I'm just going to be reading text and discussing it with you from now on. So the demos portion is done. You can go to anything I demoed. You can go to Sprites.ai today. Ask our marketing agent to deliver for you, whether it's you need a SEO game plan or you don't even know how to show up in Google or ChatGPT, to you have some sort of a game plan, you need a lot of content, you need to build a content repurposer workflow or some sort of research and content writer workflow. You want to write single one-off articles or pages, or you already have a bunch of content up, you need to optimize and refresh them, all the way to like competitor analysis and like in-depth review and analysis jobs around SEO. You can do all of that with Sprites today. Just go to Sprites.ai and get started. In terms of what do these platforms actually look for and prioritize, a lot of people can attest that there has been a shift in Google's like algorithms and how they rank things. First is the launch of the AI mode, but also with LLMs making it so easy to create content or do copywriting. Word count and content length doesn't matter anymore, and actual like semantic analysis on articles and topical depth has become the primary ranking factor. So if you walk away with one thing, it's that don't optimize for length anymore. So you actually need to have good, meaningful and deep content. On each of those pages need to be people first with comprehensive topical authority to rank for your keywords in 2025. They have the EAT principle, which is you need to establish expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness on a top. So you have your domain authority, but also including things like the author's credentials on articles do a lot better. So using experience signal matters, content relevance to search intent, topical authority, and how consistently you're publishing highly retentive or scroll depth content. Some word count guidance, but again, word count isn't really what to optimize for. If when you write your SEO articles with Sprites, like all these things happen automatically, but the pages have to have a certain distribution of headings, keyword density, like your title tag, what does it say, how long it is, how often it includes brand keywords versus the search keywords, internal linking policy, etc. These are all the things that go into writing a SEO optimized page, and why using a AI platform like Sprites to get it done for you is probably better than just doing a vibes based kind of article just to get some content up. In terms of AI visibility, here is the dirty secret, which is that all these platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, they just use Google in the background whenever they do web search. So you just fixing your SEO and showing up in Google is AI visibility. There isn't like much more to it. What optimizes you to show up for Google is what the AI answer engines also look for. There is some like key differences. One is lead with the core answer in the page instead of having setup answer. LLMs will analyze your content like top to bottom is like a human would read, and then the quicker they can get to the answer, the more likely it is that your article is optimized for them. So if it's like a kind of question intent, leading with the answer is probably better. Using citations, clear timestamps, etc. But yeah, we'll go in depth on AI visibility at another workshop, but the TLDR is the metagame on ranking in SEO has changed in 2025. So things like word count matter way less. Things like establishing like authority, frequent content refreshes, and depth of the content matters way more. And besides some minor structural differences, what gets you showing up in Google is what gets you showing up in LLMs. So it's the same optimization work. It's the same having in-depth, good content covering things that people search for that will also get you seen in the AI answer engines as well. And that wraps up our workshop on going from A to Z in SEO and AI visibility in 2025. I hope whether you're just starting out with your business and want to invest in this channel, or if you have something in motion and you want to further optimize or not get left behind with the most recent changes to Google's AI mode and now ChatGPT being a huge traffic source, that you got something out of it. All the best and hope to see you at the next workshop.